because my programming said it's not safe for you to save money, Lisa, have money squirreled away and earn money. It's not fair, it's not okay, it's not honest. I am writing my second book. The concept for the book is, am I healing? And the idea is you have something within you that is going to change the world. There's something special within you that will change the world, but it will change you first. So in order to overcome self-sabotage and self-destruct and those subconscious programs that keep us stuck and keep us playing small and keep us in the weeds, we can't just power through and push through. It works for so long, but then we get exhausted, we get burnt out. Instead of that, instead of winning and pushing and succeeding, we actually have to do the work to heal, to find peace, to find happiness, to feel okay about who we are, and to really trust in the magic of what we've got to bring to the world. And the reason I've written this book is because I've shared this story before, but I got into debt 3 times, and I went on such an incredible journey with each moment of debt that it changed my life. I think every single one of us has got a perpetual problem, loop, issue that shows up in our life over and over and over again. And no matter how hard we try, no matter how fast we run, no matter how hard we push, somehow we break it. For me, it was money. I could not earn money and hold money. I would get myself into debt, and then in debt I would panic and I'd push and I'd go make loads of money, pay off the debt, and then that was uncomfortable to my nervous system, so I'd get myself back in debt and the loop would continue. For other people it's love. They get in a really great place in a relationship and then they self-sabotage, they break it, they find a way to end that relationship or for the relationship to self-implode. So it's easy to look at someone else and think, oh, I can't believe they've got that problem with relationships or food or money, but every single one of us has it, and it's not like we chose it or we actively became this person that isn't it. It's more like there is a subconscious programming, a wound, a trauma, something we don't believe. There's a pain within us, and what I'm realizing now is that you can't push through that pain. You can't burn the midnight oil to heal. You can't do that. The healing process is different, and part of it is becoming conscious of the pattern that you're running. The next part, which sucks, by the way, is sitting in the discomfort of the change. So when you run the pattern, like let's say I managed to get £1,000 in my bank in between these debt cycles, having £1,000 in my bank actually felt like death. And I know that sounds crazy, like what the hell, Lisa? But to me, it didn't feel safe because my programming said, it's not safe for you to save money, Lisa, have money squirreled away and earn money. It's not fair, it's not okay, it's not honest. Something in me said that was wrong. And so everything in my programming made sure that I got rid of that money to put me in a position of owing. So I was in a position of a lot of other people like, oh guys, yeah, don't worry, we're all in this same position. Instead of letting myself be okay financially and living and teaching and growing from that place, I always felt more comfortable owing something or somebody instead of sitting in a place of abundance. That is mad. So what happened was, the first time I got into debt was 100k, and when I tallied up that number, I actually didn't tally up the total amount. I stopped at 70. It's all I could handle. I owed so much money, I couldn't even compute the number. But I'll tell you this, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. Who was to blame? Who hadn't taught me? Who hadn't helped me? Who hadn't paid their invoice? I had a reason and an excuse for every single pound that I owed, every £100,000 that I owed. I thought, nah, not my fault. And that was a big problem. So instead of healing that, I just got to work. That was my programming. We work hard in this family, we can figure anything out. So I just pushed through and I paid off every penny. Not long after that, I thought, hang on, something's not right here. Tallied it up, and I got myself back into £65,000 of debt. That was shocking, but the weird thing about it was, as I got into debt that second time, I watched it happen. I remember saying to myself, Lisa, you are riding your retainers here, you are not out selling, you're not posting on social, you're gonna run out of money. And like consciously I knew that, so this time I could match my actions to the outcome, but I was powerless to stop it. I was running this self-destruct program which I couldn't fully see, and I couldn't pull the plug. It's almost like I wanted to go into self-destruct just to see what would happen, but it wasn't even that conscious. I just know that I couldn't change it. So then I paid all that debt off, and like we're talking years of work and graft and tears and therapy and panic and God knows what. The third time I got into debt, 8k, which to a lot of people sounds like, whoa, that is a lot of debt. To me, I was like, thank God I've stopped at 8k. The third time I got into debt, I could see myself doing it. I saw the programming, I paused and I said, no, Lisa, not again. And it wasn't as simple as, oh, so then I just stopped being in debt. It wasn't that. What had preceded, in the years leading up to that third debt calculation, I'd been healing, I'd been changing, I'd been growing. I stopped running away from my problems and using work and graft and grind to make it through. And I started sitting in the discomfort of, you know, when people go, what is wrong with me? I used to ask that, like, what is wrong with me? But not in a mean, horrible way. I mean, sometimes I probably did, like, what is wrong with you, Lisa? But I would sit and go, what must I believe about myself in order to think being in debt is a better way to behave? Because if you're running a pattern and you're living a situation over and over, something in your subconscious programming says this is better for us. We are safer here. We are safer when we are single. We are safer when we rely on ourselves. We are safer in debt. Something within us is running that program, getting us into that situation, or we've run the program and now that we're in that situation, we're using something like debt, food, alcohol, sex, it could be anything, to make us feel better, to self-soothe. And so what I had to do was to sit in my big girl pants and be like, Lisa, you're an adult, you're safe, it's an abundant world. You can be, do, have anything you want. You can create anything. There's books, there's YouTube videos, there's podcasts, there's so much available for free. Because let's be honest, guys, I was broke, like worse than broke every single time. You've got to figure out what's going on. And that is where I dug deep into nervous system regulation, inner child work, trauma, healing, talking therapy, journaling, and yes, affirmations and subconscious reprogramming. I did that, but I feel like we all do that and we're not really doing it. We're using it as a salve. A salve? A balm? Do you know what I mean by that? It's like we get in a bad situation, so then we go, okay, I affirm, I'm amazing, life is beautiful, and it gives you a temporary lift. But if you're not doing anything to change the program that you're running, to go back and heal the wounds that are causing you pain and keeping you running a program over and over, or changing your behaviour in a really physical way that you can feel and you can see, and if you're not prepared to sit in the discomfort of the pain of how you feel, then you're going to run the loop over and over and you're going to keep having to affirm, I am safe, I am well. I think that can only go so far.